Hey, welcome to the stream. If you're just not here yet, then that's fine. It's 9:15 Friday night here in the UK. Still a bit clammy. Looks like it could thunder later. Maybe a wee bit of rain would be good. I want to show you guys something that's kind of newish but not quite finished yet. And that is SID Sound. SID Sound. With SID Sound, we can play a note, set the attack, decay, sustain, release. So attack and decay, I'll do 7 and E. Sustain and release, I'll do 0 and A. Wave, let's do, hey, how's it going, 110 soldiers? Evening. Wave will do 21. And so that will play a sound. Let's put it into joystick macro in a loop. And do fire button. Right. So when I press fire, we should hear something. I just spent a bit of time trying to import old CarPad files and updating the importer so that it would work. But now I need to support extended color mode. So I don't have that yet. Thanks, man. Thanks. Hope you're having a good Friday night. Whereabouts are you? UK? It's very clammy here, as I was just saying. So I'm going to save this as a sound test. So that will play a note in voice 1 with these wave 21s, this sawtooth. We get choice of pulse wave, so we can do pulse width. But let's just hit that. We'll see if sound's coming through. Probably not. Let's set that a bit higher. Okay, I don't hear it. My voice volume's up. I wonder if I need to set the volume. That all seems fine. Let's do set var. Volume, set that to 0F. Norfolk, okay, yeah, a wee bit hot here, isn't it? There we go. So I've got a note working. I need to turn the gate off. So if I could just duplicate it, just be lazy for now. If I do 2.0, should it be before it or after it? Oops. There's a bug with this where you have to put the $sign in. I missed a bit of the parsing logic. There you go. But I could probably do that because that's 25 bytes. It's not that much. But I can do that by a set var as well. Let's just do it. So that's voice 1. Control set to 0. Right, that will be the same difference. Yeah, this is just something that I did today. But it's not quite finished yet. I think it's supposed to go after. Yeah, but, okay. So has to fade out completely before I can press it again. So the release is too long. Let's just do 3. I don't know if you can hear that, if it's coming through. How do I see both of these? Yeah. Cool. I've been doing Spectrum games for a while. So the SID is a luxury. Yeah. Yeah, the Spectrum's a challenge. Has it got like one voice, the Spectrum? You know, very simple like noise and yeah. I've never tried Spectrum, but I know it's very it's like a very beepy. I think you have to fake everything. Like noise has to be like turn it on and off, a bit like the BBC Micro or something. Let's see then. Let's use so I've got another new node called the random node, which we can set a frequency, but the problem with this is, yeah, I think random doesn't work with words yet, and I don't know if I can do like low byte, high byte yet either. Combining that stuff. I can do it in code, but there's a beeper. Had an AY chip. Okay, I'm done with the CPU. Oh god, that's, yeah, holds everything up. Holds everything up. Yeah, it's not like a dedicated SID chip then, which changes life. Makes it so much easier. So I send this to a var. Let's do, I need to do a word, don't I? Let's do noise, or I don't know, frequency. I'll do frequency. And then that's going to be frequency. And then put that in there. So I should get something different each time. It might be low ranged. Yeah, it's not reading it right. It's sending the wrong part because it's a word. So this is just picking up. It's just picking up the upper half. There's another way I could do this. I wonder if I could copy. I'm just going to try and make it a byte. Oops, okay, it's in use. So do a byte. Frequency. Sounds like a Spectrum. I had this working earlier. I don't know what I did. I did something weird. Let me try what I did. I think I made 2 bytes and called one high, like low byte, high byte, and just kind of did it, randomized each. I randomize each, and then I think it will just automatically try and read the next byte. Don't quote me on it. There we go. It's the Spectrum simulator. Sounds more like the noise. Oh, do you know what it'll be? It'll be the noise randomizing the pitch, which sounds like noise again. Potentially. So anyway, still need to make that work. Make all this work correctly. Fix it so that you don't have to put a $sign in each time. But it's halfway there. So that's progress. What else was I working on? Working on all my old files. I just found some old files, it's like bitmap stuff, and I remember I was going to do some kind of I don't know if you ever played Ninja Rabbits, but it's like a bitmap based dude walking past and getting into some sort of combat, and then that way. So I was making up a system for building bitmaps, but I realised quickly that I just ran out of memory for it, and there's a few of them that I made here, a few variations. So I'd say, right, okay, that's the plain background, then I can add stuff in front of it. But then trying to work out the bit pairs to get the colours right was a nightmare as well. But it's led to me making, the bitmap builder editor, and I'm still struggling to get it to work correctly with overlapping stuff. Especially like if one of the colours is the background colour, because that would be the transparent one, like black. In some cases you want to keep that. So yeah, it looks pretty. That's why I was like, let me get that. So I've just been going through all my files when I was doing like just random graphics, like this wee guy's kind of shooting, kind of like the light hitting his face and stuff as he fires. But that's as far as I got with that. Like I'd always just have a little notion to make something. How many sprites would it be? It's 4 sprites for each. I've not done any Y expansion for them because I wanted more colours. So I'm going to see if I can find some more. Pretty sure I saw another sprite set somewhere. I've got some in here. I don't know, it's not gonna try and find that. Demo sprite shooter. Okay. Oh, that was that one. Right. That was that one. Age of Fighters. This is not too old. This is last year. Ah, wow. Yeah, I never get very far with this. I did a better version, to be honest. This was just another experiment with, the Y expansion, compositor on. I updated the sprite editor today as well, so that if you're working on one of the expanded sprites, then the pointer disappears, but a little cursor appears at the bottom, so you know where you're drawing. Because otherwise, I was trying to come up with a design choice. How would I show the cursor if you're working on the stretched sprite? So the way I did it back in the previous version was to show a little cursor down the bottom. You can't really see it because I'm down here. But it's when you're over here, it actually just transfers the cursor down onto him there, and it works kind of well. That way, when you're drawing, it has to be the sprite that's there. When you're drawing, then you can see it visually down there, but you don't really look at the top screen anymore. That only really works if it's not expanded. So if I put that there, then it's easy enough to drawn it, turn comp off, then it will just be back to normal. So it's when you've got the composition mode on. I guess there should be another state, like, and the tile you're selected is expanded. So, because otherwise, with that off, it's normal. So I could probably get away with it then, but yeah, I'll do a bit more polish to that. Let's see what else I can find. Just import over that one. No, I'll keep everything. I want to kind of keep stuff and make like a dump file that people can use or something. Make use of my old stuff. Age of Fighters core, Age of Fighters. Okay, so yeah, I did have an updated version because this was all done in Game Maker. I'll show you this actually while I'm here. So I can easily just open that, save that, and open. Version 3. See if it's the right one I'm thinking. The chat's disappeared. Right, that's that loaded. So yeah. See, it's completely different, dude. This is all Game Maker to make it look like. What button is it? To make it look like Commodore 64, and I don't know what the fire button is. Oh. And the sound effects is done through BSFX or something, like an online sound effect maker. But it's good for prototyping stuff. So this was going to be a game I wanted to make. So like sprite masking is not really done here. It's just PNGs that look like the graphics put in place. And the bitmap is a true bitmap. But it's just like, how would you do all this other stuff? I guess you would do it with sprites. So yeah, some things would change, but this just helps me prototype it. And plus you can fire loads of these. Like you would only be allowed so many before. That doesn't work because all the sprites are in here. They're all just ripped from spread from Sprite Editor. So it's been made in Sprite Editor. Then I've got a PNG exporter sort of built into it, but you have to do like frame by frame and then bring it in here and then tidy it up a bit. So it was painful. I did another one. I'm trying to find it. Another sprite. Let's load up. But I want to come back to this. Finish prototyping it and stuff. Yeah, it's the same with CityCat. CityCat started as a C64 Dev, but then I wanted to develop it faster, so I ported all the graphics to Game Maker, did more, and because I've got all the backgrounds as PNG and KLA, it kind of just works. Hey, Extreme, welcome back. Yeah, I mean, that's the idea, that once it's done, it'll be prototypable. So I always design it in a certain way that it won't be difficult to port it. It's kind of being designed to work for both. So if people want to play it in their Steam Deck or something, they'll have a Steam Deck build and they don't need an emulator. It will just run. That's the way I want to do things moving forward, is like, you know, a faithful rendition that looks like the C64 version. There's not much that has to change. Even like sound effects, I can just rip and make them into MP3s, or WAV files. Right, let's go and see if there's anything else I can find. I'm trying to find the Ninja dudes that I did, but I think, I know where they might be. Maybe in my G drive. All right. My G drive. Ninja assets. Nope. No, not in there. Where would they be? Because I've got another cool project. I don't know if I've got it here actually. Let's just see if I can find it. C64 committee. It's not in here. It won't be here. Where would that be? There's CityCat files there. I get so many files everywhere. C64 stuff. This is where I've just been looking. I think it's on a different drive or my laptop. What's this one? Last Ninja projects all the fucking time. I do so many of them. Let's do another Last Ninja project. And I never really finish. No, I usually do a couple of things. That's what led me to this other one. I'm trying to find it. It's basically like new Ninja sprites, and I made a video of it somewhere. It was like just a ninja jumping about the streets, but it's like new updated Ninja sprites, and I had it all working and everything through Game Maker. So I was going to try and get that working. It's on I know it for sure. It's on my laptop because I remember working on it at the pub. So anyway, I'll show that for the next stream. I'll just carry on with this. But yeah, the idea is that I don't have to prototype anymore because Dev Machine. That's why I wanted to make this, because I was tired of like prototyping in Game Maker, then redoing it all for C64, but then being dependent on people to do it. When I do a lot of work, put it that way. I'm a workaholic. I just work all the time. And if other people aren't able to work, I get stressed out. I just want to do stuff. It's probably why stuff doesn't get finished either, because I depend on other people. But I've had to make this tool to make it easier. So hopefully I'll get some games out. So yeah, there's nothing else to find. What was I doing today? Oh yeah, this one. So with this, I guess it's kind of like if you watched my last video, I had 2 bitmaps and I was copying bits of bitmap to make new scenes. Now I realised I could do that with a single bitmap. I can come in here and like put all my graphics up in this top border and the bottom border, and then just have a kind of reduced area, and then put text down here after it, and then stuff up here after it as well, because this is just like a process of copying the information. Getting held up by other people, but I don't know. I don't want to like use too much people's time at the same time. It's like I might do like 100 hours a week, but they might do 20, and I'll be like, "Can you do more?" And they'll be like, "No, I'm busy. I want to do my own projects." And I'm like, fair enough. Each to their own. Or if they do more than is expected, I'm wondering, are they going out of their way to do this for me, you know? And it might not be for me, it might be for us, so maybe I've got the wrong mentality about it. So anyway, it just led me to go down this route to, like, no, I'll make a tool to make life easier, and then it makes life easier for everybody. Yeah, I've thrown about 5 months at this now, 6 months at this, and it's gone so fast. There'll not be a 0.93 tonight. I need to fix quite a few things. I need to, so as I was showing a minute ago, I've got a new SID sound macro which plays a sound, and I want to be able to wire this up to text data. So you can do, in here you could do your notes, like C#3, comma, you know, C2, whatever it might be, like a whole bunch of notes, and even like a rest, like R1 rest for one note, or, you know, and then another note, D4, right? And I want it to then be able to use like the asset lookup, parse in that data as notes, create a table internally, which then it will just read those notes, and then if it hits a rest, it will know it needs to rest for a beat, like an R4, rest for 4 beats. And then people can then kind of compose their music this way. I remember doing this back in the day with Basic, so I kind of want it to feel like that. And so I'm going to get that all wired up. There's a few bugs with this as well. It means you can just play sounds, and you can potentially compose stuff. So you know, drag 3 of these off, if you imagine. One's for voice 2, one's for voice 3. And everything just wired to tables, like what sound plays, and then just having them all in parallel. Or something else, maybe another way to wire it up. Like, do you want it as wave, then note, and whatever, but it just depends. Yeah, I think I know how I would do it. I've got an idea of how I would do it, but this would also then turn into an editor quite easily. I can then make an editor, but you can't hear it in runtime. I can't simulate the SID. I just can't do it. I tried it. It just sounds terrible. But what you would do is you'd put this together, then run it, hear your music, and go, right, okay, I need to fix this bit, play with your data, or play with the editor, and then I could probably give you a rough idea. I mean, I could refine it over time and maybe even sample the sounds. I don't know. I could go crazy with it because, you know, we've got so much memory with machines these days. I could just make a library of like every approximate sound. It'd be a lot of work to do that, obviously. I can also simulate the sounds roughly, but creating sound buffers and stuff just took ages. So get all that done, and then what else have I got? Extended color mode for character sets. I realized there was one I was trying to import. I'll show you what it is. So if I go to, I just go up to import CarPad, because I've got this working for older files now. Where is it? Yeah, this one called Decoder. And do you want to build map data as a tile set? Make a tile set. And in here was all these characters. Like, oh, cool. I was looking at thinking there's something not right about this. Like, it's like, I don't know, just something was off about it. And I realized also when I looked at the map, I was like, where's the rest of the map? I remember this looking different. But it's extended color mode, but I don't have support for that yet. So if I show you in CarPad, which I think I loaded it earlier. This was an older one. This was one of the very first games I wanted to make. I need to come back to this little character-based ant game. This one. This was the... I'm quite proud of this. This is what I made with the extended color mode. So basically, extended color mode allows you to have... It's a bit flipped. You can have 4 different background colors per tile, plus the full range of colors, I believe. not just, is it the full range or the upper? Full range. So you get the full range of the color set as well as like different backgrounds, so you can have a more interesting look, but you sacrifice the number of characters you can have to 64 is how that works, because of the just the way it does the data. You can have like groups of 64 and swap them out, but it's quite good, but it's 2 kilobytes just for 64 characters. But then you get much more like color choice with it, and I think I can incorporate that, but it's not important, right? It is importing, but it's not displaying right, because I don't support extended color mode right now. So I was going to get that done, because I'm quite proud of this. I can imagine I'm going to try and make this little platform go up and down and see how it looks, and I don't know how it would look. It's very kind of Spectrum looking as well, so it's quite nice. What else? Some stuff with the bitmap editor, nothing major, just when you're zoomed in and you mouse wheel about, that's all good and dandy, but you can't pull these bars around, and if you drag a rectangle, for example like this, and you go all the way to the edge, it doesn't scroll over, which I want it to do. And also you can't fill with background, like fill erase, so I can't right click to fill this with background color, so that's the next thing. But you can choose rectangle, fill, and right drag, and it would do it, so it should be easy enough for me to get that to work. Cheers. Yeah, I enjoy little things like that, just little exercises where I'm like, I'm going to challenge myself to do this, and then, but I'm not going to turn it into a game, but it feels like it could be a game. So I'm always doing graphics tinkery stuff. So I'll get that to, oops, delete this data isn't checked. No, don't delete that. Right. So I'll get all that working. So I'm just going to show you what this is. Yeah, so those 3 or 4 things will take me into middle of next week. So the next update will be middle of next week. Oh, seriously. Did I just lose the undo history on it? So how did that happen? So I've just got a little SID track playing in the background just to make sure it worked, but I'll turn that off in a minute. And then just a test character set, and I was just messing about with the V-weight timing. Thanks, Stuart Hurst came and helped me with that earlier today, because I wasn't sure how to get the timing right, but I used a little bit of code to do a repeat loop for no operation. So repeat 20 NOP just basically means NOP 20 times. So if you ever use the code editor, I've added that repeat function. I need to make it a bit clearer. Purple's a wee bit too close to the background. These are just little things I'll fine tune. Me, I'll get stuff done, then I'll refine it later. So that's my NOP delay, just to make sure. I'll show you what that does without it. So you get this problem. It's the bad lines, just bad timing. So sometimes a little NOP helps it. Oops, is that in there? Yep. So yeah, I made this horsey guy, little horse sprite. Just 3 frames, so I wanted the horse to sort of do that every now and again, not all the time. So I was going to use something to, so that's the frames for the horse. So I'm just going to directly inject the actual frames into the sprite pointer, and see they go directly to the sprite pointer for this one. It tells you what it is, 63F8, but you just use the hardware register, so you can do offset var sprite config pointer 0, right? And it already knows that. I tested it with frames horse offset. No, it's not offset. What am I doing? Did I just change the wrong one? Yeah, offset is going to be a variable. So the offset is where it's looking here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I need a byte for that horse anim frame. Offset, whatever. Horse anim frame. So then that will be horse anim frame. And then I'll just test that. Let's just set it wherever. Doesn't really matter where for now. Put that there. Put that next to it. So if I set that to 2, that's essentially me saying 0, 1, 2. It's going to be A2. And we look at A2. That's something like that. So that will be the initial frame. So this sprite macro will make that the initial frame. But me putting 2 into there, piping that into the get var, which gets injected into the sprite pointer, should overwrite what we see. Mad science. And it's kind of like a Frankenstein. There we go. I don't know what I've created until I've created it. You know, kind of made a monster on the way. Right, I'm going to move this up a bit because he's kind of standing in front of something. Let's check that. Ah, he's eating the grass. Perfect. I'll move him right a wee bit then. Let's do 163. Okay, so now I need to animate this by changing UV horse anim frame. But I don't want to change it all the time. But I'll do it just to show anyway. So that sets it up. That sets the offset. This is what, yeah, these two. That just initializes it, right? I can't do anything. That's just, it's like a hard coded version. It sets everything up and hard codes that frame and hard codes the positions. It's just the initial thing, right? I don't have to sort of use that again. It'll be these that I'll use because I'm injecting it directly into the pointer. Okay, so this is our main loop. I'll do another org. I'll bring these up here and I want to okay, let's just I'll just do add 1 to this for now, so it's always going to animate but very fast. The other thing is a delay. I've not actually tried putting a weight into something like this. It should be fine. If I put a weight in there, then set in the right. Okay, let's try that. So let's call this animate horse. Right, now RTS back. So that is going to increase the frame, but it's going to keep going into all sorts of crazy unknown graphics unless I clamp it and reset it. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if it reaches 6. So increase it, which is what it does there, is just adds 1. It's the same as just doing an inc or inc absolute to that address. So then I'm going to check it, choose what's that in frame. If it equals 6, I'm going to reset it. So then I'll set that to absolute 0. And then say that's what I want to do. Otherwise, what happens next is we're going to jump over it to here. Don't reset horse anim. Right, that's going to jump to don't reset. So if we're at 6, go to that, let's do that, let's do that. Right, it just helps me sort of visualize it a bit, sort of. I just need to see if that'll work. Animate horse. I need to call that. Right, JJ animate horse. When's a good time to do that? Yeah, here, I suppose. Yeah, I'm not sure if it is going to hold it all up. Oh, yeah, I think it is going to hold it all up. Yeah, it would be better to use a counter, because I'm forgetting that V-Way is also like using up the raster stuff. Let me just see if it just goes fast like that. That's exactly what I thought would happen. Yeah, I need a counter to delay it. So I would need another if or something. Yeah. So, but what I was going to do instead of a counter was to use the noise thing. So the new random node. So this gives me a value between 0 and 255, and I'm just going to say if it equals something. That's a hungry horse. Yeah. Heavy metal horse. Can I put that there and then just do a CMP CMP immediate, because it's going to go to the accumulator anyway. It doesn't really matter what value, just a value. So it's like 1 in 256 chance. I'll just say 20, whatever. Doesn't really matter about value. So compare BEQ that's when I'll call the animation. But the problem just now is the animation's too fast anyway. But this would solve the call. At least I'll do that first, right? I'll solve the calling of the animation, then I'll deal with the speed later. I mean, I can always just add more bytes to this, but it might be extensive. So I'll figure out, I'll do a timer to slow it down. Yeah, compare with 20 BEQ target, and if it's not equal BEQ, I need to BEQ animate horse, yeah. Okay, do horse anim. Otherwise, skip horse anim. All right. Okay, let's see if that actually does anything. Something's getting really messed up there. I think using the accumulator is not a good idea. Oh, it's because it's using the SID chip for the noise. Never thought about that. And also, for some reason, he only just moves like one frame. Animate horse. Because he needs to be. It needs to carry out the full thing as well. It can't just be like, so it's only advancing like one frame. So I'd probably do, instead of a BQ, I could do like a, I don't know, BCS maybe. And then make this higher. So there's more chance of it. And then do horse anim. But the SID is messing with the random is messing with the SID. He's still a hungry horse. Okay, well, I'll tighten that right up. That might be enough. It might be enough to simulate it. You know, it doesn't have to go all the way down. It works quite well. Perfect. Apart from the SID not liking it. And this is, I'm pretty sure this is just a 2-track tune. I think, let's just put it at 0. No, I think the noise oscillator comes from 3. So, but that's good enough. I'm not gonna bother doing anything else with that. That looks great. Yeah, cool. Job done. Yeah, it just means there's a less chance of the frame updating. So between whatever that is, brain's not working, 246 and 256, or 245 and 255. And that works just fine. Now, I'm going to try a different SID track. I'm pretty sure that is my 2-track SID, music SID import. Because I've got ones where I don't actually use Voice 3, I keep it for sound effects. And I'm just curious to know if the oscillator that does the noise thing will mess up with that. Will mess it up. There's my 2-channel one. I don't know if it's track 0. Usually track 0 I leave it blank so I can use no music. I just change the track. Right, that'll be track 1 then. There we go. So don't use channel 3. So this is it now, a 2-channel thing. That's it. That's my whole game. It's like a demo scene, like the Crazy Cow or whatever it was. I forget what it's called. Cosmic Cow or something like that. Anyway, it's just a horse eating grass. Right, I can do other stuff, obviously. Well, make a new sprite and have it walking about, but that's good. I'm happy with that. I don't need to do anything else with this. It's advancing the frame nicely. I could always do something else with this if I wanted, but yeah. Just realised there's a way that then you can get, if you wanted to do like a random, like throw of a dice or something, then that could be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking of a way of like getting the number range down, because I struggled with that earlier. Like I put in this clamp range, but it doesn't work. So I'm going to take it back out. It just doesn't do anything. It's broken to bits. But it does work, but it will always try and emit a number between 0 and 255. The noise oscillator will always be 0 to 255. So even if you clamp it from like 20 to 60, most of the time it will be registered 60 because it's going to be like a random number above it. And I was trying to remap it and normalize it and multiply it and subtract and add and everything to it, but it just became like quite a big chunky, like if I switch that on, it's already 44 bytes, and then like I changed this to 45 to 80 or whatever, it's still only 44, but it wasn't working so well. It was sticking like can't do within that range very well. There's ways to do it, but I don't want to. There we go, 68 bytes. There's ways to do it, but I don't want to waste 68 bytes in a random. 18's fine. Okay, I guess it's just graphics again, more sprite stuff, more. I could make it say something else. It's a shame about the weight thing. Let's see what other vars can I do. I can do a BCD and call it timer. I'm just curious to see if I use a timer. Let's just save that. I'll do a new file. I'm curious to see like what I can get out of a, or even doesn't have to be a timer. It can be a word. I'll save that. I'll do a check just to see like what kind of, how long it takes for it to count to 65535 or FFFF. No, it's not overflowing. It's just that the range is always going to be 0 to 255, and if we're talking about what I was talking about, like the noise is always going to be 0 to 255, and then I can't really clamp it. Well, I can clamp it, but it always ends up above it or below it. And anyway, I'm just going to do away with that. I'll let anyone else that wants to work it to, you can just do checks, I suppose. Like if it's greater than 60, just randomize it again. That was one of the things I was thinking, is like, okay, just try and get it to randomize again, because, well, it doesn't really matter. It's always going to, there's more chance of it being above or below. It's better to do something like what I just did there, is do a greater than or equal to, like a BCS. Then you can keep it within a range. Depends what you need. And you can always just, like, after the fact, minus a value off it if you need to show a different value, if you need to show it physically. So I'm going to save that and reset. I want to try something. I'll do a word. Let's call it counter, and then print that. Print counter in decimal. Just the top center. I'll do a V-weight, just so it's not frame based. Oops, yeah, just save it anyway. Why not? Why is it already at 65535? Because I've not actually reset it. And I'm not even increasing it. 27 bytes. I'll just use an ink. It's overcomplicated, this set bar, to be fair. I'm going to fix this so it uses the newer sort of weight. That shouldn't be 27 bytes. All right. I mean, that's already. I mean, a byte will do. Then I never realised how slow that actually is. I thought it'd be like so fast. It'd be really fast without the V weight. So even then, it's slow. I never realised that it'd be so slow. Okay. Right. That's fine. Okay. So I lost my train of thought. Why was I doing that? Why was I thinking about that? Oh yeah, because I was going to change the text. So in here is welcome to the wild west, but it's just inline text. I'm going to switch that for an asset and do text data, and then do welcome to the wild west, ... Here comes the cowboy. Looking for your horse. Looking for his horse. Right. Let's see if I can get it to display these 3 strings with some time between them. This is all challenging for me. Like I've designed the things to do these things, right? But I've never actually done them. Fake it to make it. What's that? Sound timbre bone? Not yet. Sound timbre EQ play sound. What? Sound timbre play sound play random SID sound tier generate and store the next delay RTS. So, sound timer, branch vehicle, play sound, decrease sound timer, play sound, play random SID sound tier generate and store the next delay RTS. I kinda know what you're talking about. I think. Is it like a random sound generator? Or are you talking about like how to read the sound in? Sound timer, BQ play sound. Yeah. It's like a sound reader. That's what I'll do with the sound stuff later. It texts you the answer. All right, okay. Yeah, but that sounds like what I would do with holding the. That will be solved at some point anyway. Like I said, I'll make some kind of sound editing tool, kind of music making tool, something basic that just lets you mess about, make simple tunes without a need to go into Goat Tracker. What a nightmare that is. I do like it, but I don't like it at the same time. Right. Text data. Instead of printing that, yeah, we're going to use text data. We're going to use vars. Do I need... Right, there's only 78 characters, that's fine. I think that's fine. I don't know if it supports words yet, I forget, I doubt it. So, sentence start and another one, sentence end. Make one that mutes her indoors. My her. Set what was the volume one? Yeah. Oh, it's not here, isn't it? Indoors, yeah. Set your D404, whatever it is that sets the volume. What is it now? Set var. You're gonna making me go off on a tangent. I'm sorry. It's just the ADHD in me or whatever it is. Yeah, set that to 0. That'll make things go quiet. There you go. You can say shut your D418. Be quiet. Right. Sentence start, sentence end. So we're gonna do. It shows the character, and you can hold down Shift and highlight, and it will show the start and end. So 0 to 32. So I'm going to do that as the start. So set vars. Just do that there. Sentence start. Oops. 0. Sentence end 32. Take away the dollar. You can do it in decimal, and it converts to hex. So yeah, so we use sentence start and sentence end. I'll get it so that these squash and you can read them as well. These are just little things that I'll fix. Okay, let's test that, and then I can test pressing fire to advance it would be good. Why is that not showing anything? 2600 is fine. Text data asset. Start end. Well, that sucks. I didn't press anything else by accident, did it? Oh, what's happened to this? That should be set as A. Oh, is it only var? It should be set to A. Is that what broke it? What? Let's take that out a second, switch that back to inline. Oh, that sucks. Because I'm sure I'm just going to move this just to see. It shouldn't. It's either, you know, if they're. I know it's picking that up anyway, so it's fine. How do positions default? That's using those. That should be using. Let's just try start 0. Right, I'll just leave them default. Just, there's something obviously wrong with picking up the vars. Yeah. So let me try just the end. That is set to 20 there. $32. Okay. So the start is wrong. Let's just try 33 and yeah, there's a lot of things wrong. That shouldn't be 15 either. Ah, that sucks. Right. Well, that's a major thing to fix. I'm not going to do that now. I don't know what it could be. It could be multiple different things, and it could take me forever, especially in the moment. But that would work if, and I bet you, does that allow me to? Yeah, it's clamped at 15. What's the point in that? I don't know why I decided that. Why did I decide that? Did I do it as lines? If that's 1 to 2, that's just going to be one character. Yeah, it's just poorly designed. I need to go back to that then. It's not going to work. There's different ways to do it. Yeah, it's going to be one character. The other way to do it is, that's 23 bytes. Yeah, I don't want to keep using print again and again and again the same node, because I want to use up the bytes that's there only once. So it's just broken. So it should only ever be like 48 bytes, and all I'm doing is just updating the var values. So I guess that's why it didn't work, because it's clamped at 15. Let's try that again. It's because the value behind this is 15 or something. What the hell? Unless they're supposed to be words. Because I remember thinking to myself, is 255 enough? And why they're all like this. Let's try the word SW and end W. SW, NW, okay. Is that what it was? They need to be words? .33 to... I should put a note on if that's the case, that they're supposed to be words. I don't know if that's 55 or 56. So 55. There we go. And it's a little short. Saves the day. Okay, so it was working. It just needs to be words. So I will take a note to fix that, just to say, you know, that these need to be words. That makes sense. But at the same time, the start and end raw values, only 15, is a bit slim. But you're more likely going to use vars with a text data asset anyway. So it's fine. Yeah. I can extend it. It's no big deal. Right. So I want to put that into a little text update. RTS back from that. Inside text update, well, I just update these and then call it. That's going to be based on the fire button, which is going to increase a counter, which is going to change these, which I might as well put in a lookup table to feed into it. the different start and end values. That's how you would kind of do dialogue. You follow me? Follow me? Does that make sense? So the fire button would advance the pointer to look at, well, let's just do it. Let's call this dialogue. That should automatically, there you go. That should automatically update though. Did that do it right? No, I had to choose it. Right, and if I do another text data, or byte data, and set it to, what's that? Horse. Don't see us using that many. I'll leave that like that. I'll put this at C2. I'll tighten these up later if I need to. Right, and that's going to be dialog pointer lut pointer lookup table. So basically, so entry 0 would be 0 to 32. Entry 1, I mean, I don't need to do the numbers necessarily. I can just do 0, 32, 32, 56, 56, 80, whatever it might be. And it will just read them in pairs. Okay. Num 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 num. And I need another variable. Dialog pointer set var dialog pointer 0. Oh man, it's a lot of pulling data numbers in from here, there, and everywhere. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go and top up my vino, and feel free to chat amongst yourselves. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I realise the window's wide open, but it's still 100 degrees in this room. It's all high. Where'd you all go? Hey, where are you? Where was I? Yeah, the pointer thing. Right. I need the joystick macro, Alt J, put it into the loop. Let's throw it up the top. Press fire. Press fire. I'll increase the dialog pointer. But not yet. If I set it to FF, it should wrap around. I think press fire will be the first one. I also need something to happen when I'm not pressing something so that I can sort of reset it. Otherwise, I'll just go through it very quick. So this is still too heavy for. That's fine. Naughty back. Right. So that's position 1. And it reads the next 2 of that. So set var I obviously don't need day 2 anymore. I need to introduce renaming as well, because now that I've used these, I'll just make up names. Oh, it says they're used. Okay. Anyway, I'll just keep them like that. I know what they're for. It's fine. I'm going to set var start coming from what was the way I did this again? What was the pointer for? I thought I had this as and maybe it's get var. Yeah, get var from asset. That one. The offset being the pointer. Okay. I think I know what to do. Advance the pointer after it, and then I'll get +1 and that goes to start word. It goes to end word. That'll be +2. Then advance. That's not going to be, it's going to be a var. Oh no, wait, confused myself. Dialog pointer. And increase the dialog pointer by 1. And dialog pointer. Right, get my head around this. This is mental. So, looking at the asset, that's entry 0. Then we're increasing. Yes, that's 0. So let's make sure that's at 0 first. Add it FF. We'll leave that at 0. And then more wine. Then, yeah. That's going to get the next one. And then just do that again, I think. This goes into the end. We press fire. We text update. The text update. Right, but I need to be able to reset it, so I need a kind of flag, because we need the player to like take their finger off the button, otherwise it will just go right through this too fast. Or have a timer, so they can hold down the button and it would sort of time through it. But that's a bit weirder. No, that could work as well. For now, I just want to advance through it. I just want to see if it works. Right, I'll slow down Vice just to see if it works. It looks correct. Right, I need to press fire first. Into Wild West. Look for a horse. Blah blah blah. Okay, got a bit weird. Right. I probably got the numbers wrong. I wonder. Yeah, these are all decimal 32, 56, 56. I wonder if I've got these right actually. So 0 to 32, I think that is. 0 to 32, 33, 56. And then that was 70, 57. Oops, 57 to. Did I read that wrong? 79. 79. For some reason it just sort of worked. I don't know why. I expected to go through all of them pretty quick. It's not clearing it either. Looking for his horse and it's a bit off. Why is that? The numbers are wrong. Numbers are wrong by 1. So that'll be 31. That'll be 32. That'll be 54. That'll be 55. And that'll be 77, I think. And plus it's not clearing the string. Right, that looked a bit better. So what's a good way to clear the string first? I could do a print with no asset, inline, and double spaces till it stops. That's the simplest way to do that. Oh, conflicting. Why are they conflicting? That's asset. Print text at 2000. What's it, 2000? What's it conflicting with? Itself? What? Character set. No. Huh? I don't get it. That's not a 2000, that's 2800. Anyway, I'll move that down just to stop the conflict. It's just a clearer anyway. It's not that bad. In fact, I put it way up to 1 FOO. That's the 2.8. Was it 2000? That's fine. Yeah, something to do with this is emitting something at 2000. I honestly don't know what. Dialogues at 2800, which is there. Unless it's still got some inline data. I wonder if this is still kind of there. Yeah. Okay, it was keeping a hold of that. It was still emitting it. So that's another thing I'll need to fix, because it shouldn't do that if you've switched to asset, but that fixes that. Okay, let's just check it. So it's 23 bytes to clear it is fine. Fire, here comes the cowboy, looking for his horse. And why did it not do the last one, unless it did it really fast? Dialogue. Oh, welcome to the Wild Wild West didn't show. Probably it just went right past it. So I'll need to put a little kind of, let's see, do it really fast. Yeah. Too fast. I want to try a wait with it just to see what happens. Where's wait. Yeah, I'll do a little wait for it just to make sure it's working, even if it's glitching in. Welcome to the Wild West. Here comes the cowboy looking for his horse. Right. Cool. Alright. Why it does so much damage though, like pressing that? Oh, because it messes with the raster timing between the two VIC modes for the bitmap and text. Cool, so that's where I'll either use a timer. No, I'll rather use what I'll do is I'll emit a none, which is like nothing gets pressed, to act as a button release. And then I'll need another byte. Button state. And then let's initialize button state to 0. Remember, this all becomes like actual code, right? It's not going to set up the var then initialize it. That would be code to initialize it. So it's just basically saying this name is going to set at C007. Nothing else happens. This is just a, front end thing. And then we need to sort of put 0 in there because there might be junk like NFF or whatever it might be in there. So that's done. Button state 0. So what we're going to do is, as soon as we do this, we say button state equals 1. Oh, sorry, and fire, I believe. And then we can check it beforehand. If button state is equal to 0, equal to 0 or equal to 1? Equal to 0, it's fine. carry out the text. Otherwise, yeah, carry out text and set it to 1. Because then it's going to come back to it and say, oh, it's set to 1, by the way, so I'm not going to do that. So I need to skip over it, and the skip point will be down here. Just skip carry out text. You have to be so specific with the naming of stuff. I'll do a jump to that. That's probably an easier way, isn't it? Was eating and listening. Cool. Skip carry out text. So the way that branches work is it's either gonna it's gonna like branch if true, right? If the condition's met, it's gonna branch. So it's gonna go to carry out text, right? Which jumps over this, which is if it's false, it's gonna carry, like go the other way. It's gonna go the non-jump route, which is just whatever's next, and therefore this has to then jump past all that. So then the non can then set this button state back to 0. Have I popped it in somewhere? No, not yet. Let's go up here, getting a bit long with the code here. So I'll put that there, set that to 0, RTS. Okay. Right. Is that it? I believe so. Button state 0. Let's just give it a go. Welcome to the Wild Wild West. Here comes the cowboy, looking for his horse. Of course it keeps advancing because, well, just because we don't really have a clamp on it. But I will start it at 1. So we see that first message. Oi, oi, oi. We don't see the first message because I don't JSR the update, which is carry out text, isn't it? Carry out there, branching to it. Text update, this one, JSR text update. So let's do that. When. Right away. Will that work? Yeah. Oh, it's gone really weird. That's not good. What is text update doing then? Just printing. Nothing major. Pointers 1. Start is 20. Let's just set those like that. Took me ages to work out why the top would work. Oops. Yeah, I don't know, I broke that now. I'll figure that out in a minute. And did I break them by resetting them? Probably. I bet you should be pulling it in from the asset there. What the hell's going on? Right. I'm wondering where to put this. Why are you still floating? Right, get rid of that. Right, we're back where we were. Took me ages to work out why the top would work. It was simple once my brain had coffee. Top looks... What have I done here? Freaking broke something. Top looks like T-O-P. Top-to-P. Wouldn't. Took me ages to work out why the top wouldn't work. It was simple once my brain had coffee. Top looks like T-O-P. Right, I don't know what I messed up. I messed something up. I don't know what. Do I need this huge delay? Not really. Let's do a small one. What the hell did that do? Carry out text. There is an issue when you undo that. Certain things with if nodes get broken. It doesn't remember what you did here, and then like if you change the name of something, it will undo that, and the name it just doesn't get put into the undo stack. So that's another thing that I'm going to fix as well. It's not a showstopper, but it can be annoying. It can lead to problems like this where I'm like, you know, what's wrong now? Because now the text isn't advancing as expected. This should be 0. And that should be 37, not whatever that was. But that should be getting pulled from the table anyway, so I'm going to put that back to 0 as well. That was one of the problems. Yeah, it's pulling the wrong data. I know what it's done. It's pulling like 1 between them. That'll be fine now. Right. What I should do is change that to 2. I think. No. Yeah, I forgot my... I'm doing it all wrong. Change that to 0. Just call the text update first. Right, that should be it. There we go. Okay. You can't USR top on 6510 it read to not the whole word. Try rephrase that, because as a variable, I mean, you can't. Yeah, if you can rephrase that, I'd struggle to read it. Sorry. Right. Did I get that to work right? Because it should show the first line and then showing that one twice. Is it showing that one twice? Because saying that's at 0. 0.25. When we update the pointer has been advanced by 1, then 1 again. So 0 plus 1 plus 1 should be at 2. But the pointers These don't matter. They get read in. Let's try and put this to 2 again. Although it doesn't make sense. It's going to show the second sentence. No, that's right. That's it. Okay, cool. Right, so then I would need to say, once I've done all the texts, don't keep pulling in, don't keep doing that when I press fire. This is just a kind of one-off for 3 sentences. So once I'm going to do another if node, check the dialog pointer, and if it's greater than or equal to 6, I think we're just going to skip everything. Or I can just branch to skip carryout text actually. So yeah, same branch. If not, then continue. That makes sense to me. But how will I know? How will I know? How will I know? How will I know? Well, in theory, it's pointing to junk data after whatever address that is. If that's C200, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's looking at 2006 for the next thing, and I might hit some weird stuff. Anyway, I'll just keep pressing fire, see what happens. If it hits junk or not. It's not hitting junk. And is there a way to know what that pointer is at? Yes, there is. We can do a print extended after this for some debug. Let's put it to line 24, centered across the way, or I'll put the right hand side, decimal of the dialog pointer. So I just want to make sure it's not still increasing, that it stops after 6. Why is it showing like that? Zero, zero, zero. It's just I'll just do horse and frame just to see if it's actually working first. It should be changing. It's basically saying 0, 0, 0, I think. No, that's not right. Yeah, pad zeros. Right. The other way to do it is to read the address just to make sure it's fine. Like I'm debugging without there being a bug. That's basically how I work. Is like I just want to make sure that it's doing the right thing. So I'll look at C006 after a few presses. I just want to make sure it's staying at 6 and not increasing or not being advanced anymore. So I'll do Alt H and then do D or M 0, C006. So it's at 2 at the minute. Press G. Alt H. Press up twice. 12. So it's still advancing. Yeah, it's advancing quite a lot. So that tells me that that's not working. I don't want that number to keep going up because it will loop round eventually. If dialog pointer greater than or equal to 6, go to carry out text. Oh, otherwise it's yeah, or what? What am I doing? What am I doing? If it's greater than or equal to 6, then don't do any of this anymore. So that's going to go to that, but otherwise it's carrying it out. We're looking at dialog pointer. Why is it still carrying it out? Because it's still falling through to this. Greater than or equal to 6. Go to there, which it will be. So this is going to be true quite a lot of the time. Let's do a border change. Just to see what the hell's happening. Yellow, that's orange. It was yellow first time, now it's orange. So it's still carrying it out. Still getting to there. Yellow first time. Let's try again. Press fire. It's no. It was always. It's never correct. Let's try and change that to greater than. So that carried through. There. Carry out text. Oh, I'm an idiot. Should be skip carry out text. Oh my god. Human error. Right. Fire. And it stops doing it. So Alt H, forget what that was. DC000. So we got, yeah, it's that one there, C006. So it got to 08, which is greater, which therefore goes back there to there. Job done. So then I could say something like if it's 8, introduce my sprite of my player, and then allow all sorts of other control. So I could put that down here as well. So if is equal to 8, then then introduce a new sprite, sprite 1, which I'll make just now. I'll just make it my little cowboy dude. Whatever, I'll just make something very, very quick and easy. Just to visualize it a wee bit. Yeah, he looks kind of cool. I'll do it. Okay. And I'll make him appear next to his horse for now, and then later I'll make him like walk in or something. He is Clint Eastwood, 100%. Needs a little oh, that'd be good. If I click on it, I could edit it. Like, double click the sprite to edit it. I like that. I'm gonna add that in. Double click sprite image on node to edit it directly. I could do that. That's no problem. All it will do, it'll fetch the sprite asset. It will know the frame that it's on. Therefore, it will just go, boom, it's this one. Oh, boom, it's this one. And it will just be there. That'll be nice. Yeah, I was going to put a little chocolate on me. I don't know if I can do a cigar. There we go. That looks all right. Sort of cigar dude. Right. So therefore, if it equals 8, we're going to do that, and let's do spawn player. Gonna spawn the player. If not, we're gonna have to jump over that. Yeah, jump over that to here. Player spawned. Oops. Player spawned. Right. Let's see if that works. You can see I test a hell of a lot. Like, that's the only way to, every time I change something. Fire, fire, fire. There it is. And then I'll bring controls in. Okay, let's get rid of that border flash. It's getting a bit long in it. Can I break that down? I can bring all the fire button stuff up to here. Right. As long as it's the same, as long as it's a contained loop, then it's fine. Right, I should start to sort of, no bother. I was going to sort of box map it, but it's fine. Let's carry on. The next thing is movement. Now we've got the player spawned. I do need to flag that, because if you start pressing keys, you could basically upset his position, potentially. Wait, no, because this is hard setting his position. So I think you're fine. Don't need to flag that. So all I need to do now is my up, down, left, right. Alt M, bring up my moves. Oh yeah, it's remind me to save it, isn't it? So save. Last save 2311. That's good. Down, left, right. Enable 9th bits. Up is. I'll make him move very slow. -1. down. Yeah, something I've been meaning to do is change these stops to what value they would stop at. But another way to do it is to just do a yeah, I'm going to change this a wee minute. I'll take one of these out. Doesn't matter. I don't need all four. Right, I just need one. I'm going to change the way I do these now to be a bit more lean. And another address label, update movement. Throw that in there. RTS is good. And then JJ update movement. Put these in here. Tab. Vars for movement speed. And these will be sine bytes, so we can go negative values. So move X, move Y, and then I can just use vars, move X and move Y. So there I just need to set them. So set var up, move X to 0, move Y to -1, and if I do -1, it will become FF immediately because it's a sine byte. It will work fine. Right, let's do each of these down. There's one. Left. -1. Nothing and Y. Right, B1, B0. Right. Cool. Update movement. Yeah, I think I've got enough V-weight in there anyway when it does the raster. I'm moving a horse. Hello. Eat his feet. Right. It's as simple as just changing these to 1. Or just that one actually, which is good. So in theory, if I move this about, nothing's, well, is something happening? Let's see what happens. So I was doing a lot of movement to that. So I'm thinking if I'm pressing these, I'm upsetting these variables, which is updating his position. But when he doesn't get spawned later anyway, which hard codes his position. And these are, they're pulling the value and then adding to it. So they're fine. Because this doesn't get spawned till later. So he'll always be in the same position, even if I'm pressing arrow keys. So I'll push like left and then up for a while here. Press. He's still in the same position. Let's do a little flip on him when he's going left, just so I can show you that. I mean, I can do it with sprites. I'll show you that way. Just, it's dead simple. I'm just doing a copy, paste, flip X, you know. But if he had loads of frames, I think the payoff is like when there's more than 10 or something. If there's less than 10 flipped versions, just do it with sprites. But if there's more than 10, do it with the flip X. I'll just show you how I do that anyway. So I have two vars. You need two vars. You do a facing state and flipped state. Just vars, bytes. And then what you do is for left and right, you would use, you'll see why in a minute, why I was talking about flipping the sprites versus using this flip X, is because if you press I, it's 383 bytes. Right, and if I'm flipping 8 sprites, it's 390. If I'm flipping 16, it's 400. If I'm flipping a whole, bank's worth of animation, almost, it's 414, but you do the math, 10 sprites on its own, 640. So it's actually like a much better payoff. Like even 6 is still relatively good. 6 times 64 is about the same amount. So 6 or 7 sprites. Right. Let's move that out. Why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? Oh, because this is encroaching into the SID code here. Because we've done so much coding, we're hitting the SID track. Now you don't move the SID track, you have to move the code. That's the golden rule there. So if we do want to do flipping like that, which I don't need right now, I would just want to show you how I did it. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll show you the other project where I've done it, just so you know. Platform my template. So I've got my two vars there. Flip state and facing is what I used. So what way is the player facing and what's the flip state at? And that way you can compare the two of them to see if you need to flip again. That's the long and short of it. Just am I facing right? Is the flip state saying that I'm facing right? No, it's not. Therefore, okay, flip it when I'm facing left or whatever. But I do it up here. Where's the left and right? Check. Yeah. So set var facing to 0 if I'm going left. Set var facing to 1 if I'm going right. And I do this JSR, check facing and flip. So this then, that's not the right one. Up here, checks if these are the same. If they're not the same, then I'm going to flip. So I flip the sprites. And it's only 4, it's not really worth it. But once I've got animation into him, because he's multi-layered as well, it's going to be quite a lot to flip. Once I've got a full bank of running frames, is times 3, times 4 actually with the sword. Sword needs to animate as well. So anyway, yeah, I didn't want to get into that too much because I'm going to load up that again, see what else I want to do. I'm getting a bit tired. Oh. My lightweight. It's only 20 past 11 on a Friday night. I've been up since 5:30. Working on this. Not all day. I stopped about 5:30. So I worked from 5:30 to 5:30. So a 12-hour shift on this. And I took half hour for lunch. And I did about 1 hour's worth of walking exercise. So I'm alright. I eat a little bit. I don't eat much. What else I want to do with this? So I can move the dude about. Oh yeah, so the flip state I would just do with sprites, in other words. So that's as simple as just A4 and A3 injected into the sprite pointer. I just do it that way for now until I need it to be more elaborate. So left is just a set var, hardware register, sprite config, sprite pointer 1. Is that right? Sprite pointer 1. Yeah, 63F9 is 1. you're up at 6:15 and you thought that was enough. Yeah, it's the light, the summertime light, and the noises of birds, man. Because see, we've got the windows open. It's so hot. Those birds tweet like crazy. Like, we got some ones that are annoying, worse than my other half's alarm. I don't use alarms. I just tend to wake up with the light. I can never sleep in. Like, I don't know how people can sleep in. I just, like, once I'm awake, I feel lazy. If I was to try and force myself to sleep again, I wouldn't really be sleeping. I would just be like lying in my own sleep, if you know what I mean. So I have to get up early. And the workaholic side of me does it as well. Get that. I've got all these spectrum disorders that make me hyper functional, whatever you call it. I don't know what you call it. I just focus and stuff all the time, intensely, and I need to get shit done. For something in my brain, I need to go and do it. I don't listen to anyone, apparently. It's not a problem, a side effect. Right, what I was going to do, I was going to set this pointer to A3, A4, A3 for right, A4 for left. I think we've all got disorders these days. We've all been grown up with games and stuff. You get the seagulls that are near the coast. Right, dum dum dum. There we go. Simple as that. He's now left and right. Right, now you're going to ask me about animation. Well, we can do the lazy expensive route or the clever cheap route. Right, that's what this is turning into, is that a lot of the macros, they don't know how to sort of trim the fat off yet. They just kind of, they're expensive. In other words, they do too much, especially the animate node. Right, as soon as I plug this guy in, he's 13 bytes without anything attached. It's just like, hey, I'm 13 bytes to exist. Why? What you're doing that's so special. 7 bytes in loop mode just to exist because it emits a label. So it does some setup stuff. Animation nodes, everyone seems to be putting these into loops for whatever reason. You don't put them into loops, you call their routines. Right? It just has to be put into the init. I'm going to clash with the SID at some point. We're pretty close to the SID. No, it was the FlipX was, how expensive was that? Yeah, it was like 300 odd bytes, so still a while before we hit the SID there. You can relocate the SID. There's different SID relocators as well, and I think if you use Goat Tracker, you can choose the start address to be something else. But I like it there. As you see, I do that little note where it says music data just above when that comes up. I like the music there. These are just guides, where I like stuff. Bitmaps. So yeah, the animation macro is good because you can do like positional changes as well as change the frames. But it gets expensive. So I suppose it depends how many frames you got. Like let's do a quick animation with this guy. So edit sprites. I'm just gonna overwrite him because I want it to be right facing then left facing, not right left right left right left. It's easy to animate this way. So that'll be an idle. Then I'll start his walk. So I usually just chop his arms off. Change his feet to be in the middle. Put an arm back. Like so. Maybe use a little bit of transparency there. One at the back. Right. I'll shift him forward with the middle mouse, or you can use spacebar, I believe. Huh. Okay, that's another thing not working. I'll take a note of that. MMB space spritehead. This is my new to-do list, over and above the core dev stuff that all needs to be done, which is still a huge list. I've done a few more since this. There's a few that I don't know if I'll actually get to them, but righty-ho. I'll do a 3-frame animation. So what I do for the middle frame is pop him up a bit, because his legs will be a bit more together. Let's kick that out a wee bit like so. And bring his hand down. I'm quite lucky in the sense that I've done a lot of graphic stuff in the past. I also run a graphics, computer game graphics company, but it's been super quiet for the last 6 months. That's why I've been doing this. Only because we're just sort of taking on one client, and we've worked for him for 5 years, and we're just taking a company break. But the guys are like, I'm ready to work again. I need money. So now I'm like chasing the client for the work, and they're like, we're not quite ready yet. We're stuck in production. You've gave us too much. We don't know what to do with it all. And it's like, okay. So I'm going to try and get back into teaching or something. Right, that would do is a little 3-frame animation. We can test it here by plopping one down, press D, no, not D, you have to do new frame, and then you get your 3 frames. And then I'll do another new frame and put that one back in. So that's, yeah, play that. Slow it down a bit. And then I'll just sort of fix it up as it animates. So I think here I'll move his eye. And his cigarette. And then I'll move him back the way here. Yeah, current gen graphics. Yeah, I'll get a site. I'll show you. So you know. Oh, that's my. It tells you there actually if you click there. It takes you straight to it. This is my site. We do all this stuff, realistic props and bits. Yeah, I got a team of guys that do everything clothes environment. They're all really good. Yeah, bunch of clients. Yeah, I've been doing that since 2018 or something, but just started the company 4 years ago. It's very Clint Eastwood looking walk there, although I feel like something's amiss here. Maybe this one. It's hard to, 3 frames is probably not enough. Oh, looks good. Okay. I did graphics years ago, PC, PlayStation, then film, but dropped out and went back to another job and ended up doing retro games. Thank you. Yeah, I get you. I quite like working for indie companies. to be honest. I don't like the big industry stuff. I've done a few clients like that, and it's like you're just thrown in to the mix, you know. There's people that have been there like years, people that are, you know, just interns. There's people that are freelancing. People just come and go so easy in those big jobs. But when you're working in like for a small indie studio, it's usually the same team of people for the whole progress of it. With something bigger, it tends to change a lot. We moved from 3 game engines as well. We went from Unity built-in render pipeline. In fact, we changed the pipeline twice in Unity, built-in to URP to HDRP to Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5, the same project. I had to redo the shaders so many bloody times. It was bonkers. I don't know how much money it's cost them, and they're still spending money on it, and it's been coming up for 7 years. Anyway, let's do a little ear there, just to see the ear a wee bit. And the eye's looking weird. Oh. Yeah, that didn't work. No, that bit's looking odd. I'll go with that. Maybe take that eye out. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, UE4 to UE5 is also tough. A lot of the shaders don't work the same. A lot of things have changed. There's even in UE5, like 5.3 to 5.4, a lot of things broke. And they're still broke. And we're at 5.7 internally. And now there's like 5.8 or 9 now. Don't know what they're very close to version 6. Or I don't even know if when that's going to be ready. Right, so I'm going to copy these. I think we can multi-select with Control, copy and paste. I wonder if that actually... Okay, no, you can't multi-select and paste. You can multi-select and change stuff. So that's another thing. Sprite multi-select and paste. Copy and paste. So we've got that one's fine. In fact, I'll just leave that as an idle that just always goes to that one. That one's that one. That one's that one. And that one is that one. And then these 3 can be flipped. And then the idle will just be the idle. I've lost the chat. Where's it going? There it is. Right. So animation. Yeah, there's no point in using this because I need multiple different animations for the way it's facing for the same sprite. So the animate node is good for some things, but not for this. So I'll use another table. And that's going to be A4, A5, A6. Oops, A6, and then back to A5, and then A7, A7, A8, A9, A8. And that'll be similar to the text setup, I suppose. The text stuff. Alright, let's have a look at this. C1 frames horse. It's not going to be that many. Let's change that to 110. And change this to 120. Keeps them pretty tight. Exactly how many bytes is that? 6 C110 to C115. So I could do that as C115. Oh, or 16. Yep. What is that exactly? C110, C105. Alright, actually I started with that one. Like if I wanted to tighten it all up, I'd do that. 106. So frames horse. But you just said, oh. Oh yeah, I shouldn't have changed that. 106. 10B, 10C. Right, they're compact now. I want to be able to drag these around to organize them, or at least have another filter table. I'm going to add that to the list. And also alphabetically by type, name, or manually. So in that case, what I would do for the idle frame is just hard code that when there's a none, which is A3 to sprite pointer 1. You see how this is like a hybrid between coding and machine code and doing things with nodes, right? You sort of learn stuff. That's kind of the purpose of it, is that I wanted it to be a tool that I felt like I was learning machine code, but not too involved and bogged down by walls of text that I can't see anything. This just gives a bit more visual clarity, I suppose. I'd like to think. But at the same time, I'm still kind of bogged down by like how much text and stuff there is. But you know, it's fine. It runs. How would you find something though? You know, the right way to do it is to use the mapping boxes and say, you know, stuff like no fire button or no input state, right, and actually take a bit of time to use them. Fire button. I can do another box over a box like that. Spawn player. Another box here. Dialog update. So instead of like trying to find something like you know, doing a search, whatever. I mean, what I might do is allow for you to look for labels. Could be good. But I just realised there's actually a nice little hack for that for now. If you do a jump and then look for the label that you want. Let's say I was looking for text update. If I... No, that's not right. What I do need to do is be able to reference this somehow. Yeah. It's only if you hover over a label, then you can press enter on it. Yeah, okay. Right. What I might do is then, if you're trying to find stuff, is... So M will bring up all those dialogue, the boxes, these mapping boxes, which is up to you to define, right? But let's say you've not done that and you're looking for something. It would be good to use this list. Wonder if like if you pressed enter over it, whilst you're over it, that could then go to the node. That could be handy. Or just have something up here like all labels, and it's just a drop down list, and you can just go to it, and it would just zoom to whatever you wanted. Because that's the only thing you really name. What else do you name? Your vars are all there. Yeah, the only thing you name is labels. So I'll add that to the list. Find by label name. Camera zooms to label. That's a good feature. Let's see. So right now, like the way it works with labels is if you hover over it and you press enter, it will go to where it's been utilized. See, it jumps to that. But that's that way, right? That's that direction. So it's the other direction we want to go, is where we find the actual labels. So the only thing, vars are fine. If you want to find where vars are referenced, that's another good one actually. We could do that, I guess. Yeah, looking where var. I'll add that as well. Find vars. Find where vars are referenced via list. Again, goes to the node. Yeah, they're good features. That would be good enough. With opcodes, potentially you could do like if you're looking for an LDA or something, and like you click it here, or if you're over it, potentially it could highlight where it's been utilized as well. Because you might know for sure, oh, I've got a rotate left somewhere. Where is it? Where did I put that? And then you could go here and just hover over it, and maybe press enter on it. I think that would work as well. If you just press enter, it could go to it and go to each one. I'll add that as well. Don't know when I'll get to these, but that's also handy. Hover over opcodes, press enter to go to each used in workspace. Okay, handy dandy things. Because you're gonna have like quite a few if you look for like the UV dialog pointer. Like let's say there's just a drop down search for it, and then it'd be like, you know, found 6, and then go to next, go to next. It would basically go boom, boom, like there, wherever else it is. but it will just go cycle back round again. That's what it does just now when you use when you hover over that. It will go round however many things are referencing it. There's one down here that's used a lot. Where is it? Skip carryout text. See, it goes between the two. Because it's referenced there and there. You see them pulse as well. That's the start to that, though. That's finding stuff is quite convenient. But otherwise, you can press M now and start to wrap things in boxes. I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm a bit tired now. But I'll save this and I'll carry on with it. I might even upload this in its current form to the itch page or Discord or whatever for people to mess around with. In fact, I'll dump it just now for anyone that wants to mess around with it. I'm not precious about anything at this stage, to be honest. This is just a muck around, and if I give you this, it's dependent on new version stuff, isn't it? What's new? What's new? What's new? What's new? That is going to affect that. Have I used it new that you don't have yet? Random. What's random for? Oh yeah, because it works with that, so you don't have random. So that will break when you try to load it. Something else got changed, and I forget what now. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let me just I'll take out random for now. Compare with 0. I don't know. Do you know what? I'll leave it for now. I'll leave it for now because I don't want to give you something broken, and I don't want to sort of talk about it too much with this. You'll get it eventually. But yeah, we're just using one bitmap to populate the scene there. You can add more scenes. Add one, can do the same thing. We can drag these out when they are all the same. Make a new scene up and change bits and bobs. Hopefully, pardon me. Hopefully, I'll do a bit more with this another time. One day next week, maybe. Let's just throw them in like that. So get a whole new scene there. If you want to do the bottom, let's do it in 2 halves like this. 1, 2, 3. Cover these up. My little assets. Do something better with that top bit later. But you can, all this works now. The version you've got this system that works. There's just a few extra things that I did as well that you can now click this directly and edit the source bitmap. And then return to bitmap builder because it came from there. That's kind of handy. I did that today. The tile tagging all works as well. Pretty sure the version you've got, the latest version, has the tagging all working. Yeah, because I added that little myth clone. That should all be working. Yeah, I think the best thing to do is for me to keep up these streams. And for you guys to learn it and hopefully be using it. And then I'll make up more and more templates. And if there's ever a game, like a full game made, then people have like full access to it, right? You can imagine like the amount of nodes that would eventually be. But you zoom out, it will just become these areas here. Why is that doing that? No, I think you alt double click, that's it. So eventually, like, your whole game will just be made up of these boxes in a big area like this. And it will run very fast because it's not rendering all the nodes until you need to go to them. And you'll be like, okay, I need to press M and go to my no input state stuff because I need to fix something there. Yeah, I'm proud of what I've made. Thankful for you guys to be part of it as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. People lurking is all good to me. And the stream will be recorded on YouTube. I don't think it gets translated, though. Like, doesn't get the captions, the CC, whatever you call it. Chat captions. I don't know what that stands for, but the text, it doesn't show up on stream videos. And I've not recorded this one because I just didn't know how long it would be. There's a little kind of eco fade out thing there. It happens after 30 seconds as well. Stop your fan cooking you, your GPU cooking too much from all the nodes and stuff. Yeah, have a great weekend, guys. Happy Saturday and Sundays. I'll do some more work through the week with this. And the next update to version 0.93 will be Wednesday, maybe Thursday. Just depends how much I want to get through. Still need to port a couple of things to the Mac as well that I've done on PC. I need to copy a couple of scripts over and get all that other stuff done. But I'll catch you guys later. And yeah, all good. Thanks for coming to the stream, guys. I'll catch you. Bye for now.